Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apple, and my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into the streaming services and we tell you, the listener and the viewer, whether or not this is the best Uncharted movie of all time and whether or not Brendan Fraser is the best Nathan Drake of all time. Vincent, we are here.
That sounded so scripted. Did you have that written down?
No, if you look back at it when you watch this, because we're the only heads that watch this, you'll see that I started on some lines and my eyes are darting from side to side.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. I mean, I sent it to you, the premise of this
the
podcast.
premise of this podcast.
The premise, but I mean, I haven't got scripts here.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
that's
okay. This mind works in mysterious ways sometimes.
It absolutely does. And to find out more about how this mind works, check out the Patreon. $2 a month, and you get the absolute inner workings of that mind.
Lately, it's been bad on the Patreon.
Oh mate, it's been unreal.
Because usually Vinny and I do the Patreon together. We do a bonus episode on the Patreon together. But because of this Zoom scenario that we've got going here, we've just been doing single things, and I've been, whatever comes to my mind has been going on the Patreon. It's good content though.
And let me tell you, there are some wild things that come to this man's mind. Absolute wild things. But
that's what they say about all the greats though, huh?
That's right. You did get great without a little bit of crazy,
So Vincent, today we are doing 1999's. Am I correct in saying that? It's very own The Mummy, starring the incomparable Brendan Fraser.
That's absolutely correct. Incomparable.
Now, in my mind, this is a bit of a Mandela effect, and I know that it's in your mind as well. But for us, it feels like we've done this before. So if we have done this before, we don't apologize at all. We're just, we're just trying to hit algorithms here. But Vincent, I don't think we've done this before.
No, I thought we'd done this before, but it was because we did a top 5 movies of all time, and The Mummy was in your top 5, and I thought, well, I should watch this, and so I watched it. And normally I only watch movies for this podcast. I don't really watch a lot of movies outside of this podcast. Mm-hmm. At least not one like The Mummy.
Yeah, you mean a great movie, potentially, or potentially not, because we're going to get into that. Can I give you some talking points before we get into the facts that you're going to hit us with?
Yeah, I'm going to hit you with the facts.
Oh, I don't know. I can hit them with the facts. I thought you had it all up on the screen.
I've got it up. Yeah, I've got it up right here. But as long as someone hits them, then that's fine.
All right, actually, let's do the talking points. So the first one is we're going to hit you with the facts. The second one is I just want to get deep into Brendan Fraser. I just want to go into who he is as a person, who he is as just an entity within the metaphysical space. And let me tell you, there is no Brendan Fraser slander over here, or at least from my end. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into whether or not this movie could work as an Uncharted movie. And the reason we're doing that is because Uncharted, starring the incomparable Tom Holland, is coming out in 2 weeks' time. And then finally, as we do, we're going to do the hits and the misses, and we're going to let you know if this movie is worth it. Does that sound good, Vincent?
That sounds good. Should I hit him with the facts?
All right. You can hit him with the facts if you want. I've got them here as well if you want me to.
Okay, you do it because you normally do it.
All right, okay. So this has got the 7.1 out of 10 on the IMDb. This has got the 61% on the Rotten Tomatoes. Now, that's the tomato meter, so that's by the critics, with a 75% audience score, It had a budget of $80 million, and it made $416.4 million. Now, that's 1999 money. That could be big dollars.
That's big dollars.
Now, this is actually a remake of sorts, a reboot, if you will, of the original Universal monster classic, The Mummy from 1932. But let me tell you, I've watched The Mummy from 1932, and it does not slap as hard as this one slaps. But, it is what it is. Now I'm going to give you a synopsis, Vincent, and we're going to get into this.
Yep, let's do it.
Adventurer Rick O'Connell and Egyptologist Evelyn Don't even give the lady a last name. That's disrespect. Along with a bunch of archaeologists, inadvertently wake up an evil mummy during an archaeological excavation at the ancient city of Harmonoptera. And we are here, Vincent.
We are here.
And we're here. We're here. Dude, I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited that you're excited.
We've said it. This was number 3, I believe, on my top 5 Dead or Alive movies, and it's nothing. It's not going to move. Since we did that, my top 5 Dead or Alive has changed completely, except for the Mummy. The Mummy stays put. Yeah. Oh, it's changed. It's changed, man.
As in because of new movies, or just because of?
Because I've just been thinking
new feelings.
And I've been like, maybe this movie has hit me better at this point in time. You know?
Okay.
I mean, in saying that, my number one's still the same. We won't get into that. But Vincent, let's talk about Brendan Fraser. I want to hear about your thoughts on Brendan Fraser, because we haven't delved deep into the phrase, you and I.
I mean, I have only. I'm trying to think what movies. I'm just going to pull him up on the Wikipedia.
Pull him up on the IMDb.
On the IMDb, now, sorry.
I went through a phase of Brendan Fraser's. I went through a Fraser. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what when you go through a phase. The funny thing is, like, you're just saying the man's name. If you're going through a Brendan Fraser, you're going through a Brendan Fraser.
That's right. You know? Dude, Mans is doing Batgirl, apparently. I didn't even know there was a Batgirl movie, but there is.
Well, that is why I wanted to bring him up, because Brendan Fraser is back.
He's back, yeah, because I know he had some hardships in life. Yeah, because life will hit you with that. That's right. He was George of the Jungle. That's the other thing I've seen him in. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's almost the only 2 things that I've seen him in.
What about the classic starring Elizabeth Hurley, Bedazzled?
I haven't heard that. I haven't watched that, but I've watched Adventure at the Centre of the Earth. Journey to the Centre of the Earth. I think it's
Journey to the Centre of the Earth, yeah.
That's another one. There's a video game, apparently. But that movie is top tier.
That slaps, that movie.
That movie, I'm pretty sure my nonna had that on DVD, or she had that recorded or something. Recorded over, and you still get the ads on Channel 7. Mm-hmm. She had one of them situations going, and I would watch that, and mate, that was an absolute killer movie. And
when was that movie? Are we talking like maybe 2006 or something?
2008.
Now that you could even see then, obviously the Mummy was 1999 and it spawned several sequels, but you could see that 2008 property, Brendan Fraser could still lead a movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Man's never lost the skill to lead a movie, but the internet tore this man down to shreds.
Yeah, what was that?
You look up, because man's went through hardships, and he didn't end up looking the same way that he.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah.
We get into the conversation of body shaming sometimes on this podcast, and we won't get too deep into it. But when a man looks like George of the Jungle and then he doesn't, that doesn't mean that he's lost the integrity of being a good person. Am I correct in saying that, Vincent?
You're correct. You're absolutely correct.
Are you with the shamers?
No,
are you with the Brendan Shamers?
I'm not with the Brendan Shamers. I'm with the Brendan Frasers.
You have to be with the Brendan Frasers if this is the Back Catalogue podcast,
That's right.
You're saying that you might not like this movie, but I'm gonna just lay off some just hits of Brendan Fraser before I get into Batgirl.
Okay.
So first of all, you got to watch Bedazzled, starring Elizabeth Hurley.
I've never heard of that.
Man sells his soul to the devil to get a woman, and with this soul deal, he can be whoever he wants to. But the devil works in mysterious ways, as we know. So
it's granted
shenanigans
7
ensue.
Wishes by the devil to snare Alison, the girl of his dreams. Okay.
Yeah, shenanigans ensue. That's the synopsis. Shenanigans. And there's also, of course, George of the Jungle, which is an old-time classic. We did this on this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's a great. If you haven't listened to that episode, you got to go back to listen to that episode. And also the Mighty Joe Young episode, because they're like a good double feature.
The Back Catalogue double feature.
That was back when we were doing like hour 20 podcasts as well.
That's wild. That's wild. We're 10 minutes in and I'm thinking, mate, how can we fill in the time?
But the other movie that you might not need to watch is Monkey Bones. Don't go into Monkey Bones. But I'm going to give you one recommendation before I get into Batgirl, and that's Encino Man, where Brendan Fraser is he's a caveman that is uncovered by two geeks at a school, and then they become the coolest guys at school. You know, that's classic. That's classic 80s to 90s humor. You know,
Encino Man. That's just wild to me.
I got that on DVD.
Dude, that's hilarious. The film poster is says where's the Stone Age, where the Stone Age meets the Rock Age, and it's got, you know, the Neanderthals, you know, this age, and then just Brendan Fraser just like looking like he's breakdancing on a skateboard.
Yeah, dude, and you know you just gotta watch it because it's of the time. It is hilarious.
I'm gonna put that in the show notes because you gotta have a look at that. But the rest of the shows, I mean, the rest of the movies, you just find them yourself.
Now, Vincent, from my understanding, you know, Brendan Fraser's always played the good guy. He's always been the lovable. He's always been the main character. In this movie, you know, he's at the start potentially a bit of an anti-hero, but then obviously falls into his hero roots.
I mean, he's still... I guess he's still an anti-hero. It's just, you know, he finds love. That's like the standard narrative.
Yeah, he's a bad boy, and then, you know, the lady turns him into a good boy. That's the narrative here. But apparently in Batgirl, from what I've heard, he is actually playing a villain role.
That's wild.
And I want to see that. First of all, seeing a Batgirl on screen will be pretty amazing.
I just want to see, Brendan Fraser back on screen. Because, I mean, I haven't watched that many of his movies, but I like him as an actor.
Mm-hmm. And he glows. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those people that if you walked into the room with him, like, you'd be like, this man is glowing, not just like, you know, because his skincare, you know,
I was just about to say,
is
he glowing because, you know, he's out there in Mecca and Sephora and he's not getting makeup. He's just getting like, give me the moisturizers, give me the vitamin C's, give me the anti-aging or whatever. Give me the sunscreen.
He's got the serotonin oils and he's just rubbing it on his skin.
Yeah. Maybe it's an after effect of being oiled up for 6 months straight shooting George of the Jungle.
The pores were so blocked that they're just gradually seeping out as he ages.
Yeah, that's right.
That could be 100% correct. No, but I was saying his aura is like a glow.
Yeah.
Like, Mans just seems positive. Throughout all his hardships, Mans just seems positive. And let me tell you, Brendan Fraser, if you're a fan of this show, which we know you are, because, you know, we're Brendan Frasers over here, hit us up, man. We're gonna do an episode together. We're gonna do top 5 dead or alive Brendan Fraser movies.
Let's do it, Brendan Fraser. Let's do it.
So, Vincent, let's get into this movie a bit. I don't know. Should we do the hits and the misses now? Then we'll do whether we can change this movie into an Uncharted movie.
Yeah. Let's do the hits and the misses.
Because I think there's a lot of hits and there's misses in this, but I want to know, Vincent, from the top, give me some hits of this movie.
Give you some hits. I mean, I love. Oh, what's the dude's name? Benny.
Yeah.
Benny. My favorite. I think one of my favorite bits in this movie is when the boat that they're all traveling on. You know, both parties. You know, it's got Brendan Fraser.
Sorry, we should.
So there's okay.
Tell them what
we
should actually explain that. Because that synopsis probably wasn't as good.
No.
So the idea is there's the lost city of Hamunaptra. And there's this idea that there's a whole lot of gold and a whole lot of treasures, a pharaoh's, you know, treasure there. So these heads, they go out to go find it. But as it says in the synopsis, there is a mummy that has been doing some dastardly things in his past and has a pretty wild curse on him.
Yeah.
Like Mans was just go on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, Mans was just saying like a plague on both your houses. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Mans was like doing locusts to both houses.
Yeah.
He sent a couple of locusts to both houses. But you know, when there's a pharaoh and you're the priest and you're like hooking up with the pharaoh's wife, you're going to have a plague on your house. Like if we're talking in Egyptian times, that's plague on your house.
Well,
that's,
I mean,
101.
It ended up being the priest put a plague on the pharaoh's houses.
Yeah, I guess so. In the end, he did do that.
So man's just won.
That's true. Yeah, well, I mean, well, the thing is as well, the Pharaoh dead.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so was Imhotep.
But then he came back to life.
Yeah. He was buried alive and had a live mummification. So man's probably didn't win everything.
Yeah.
But
as we know from the career of Brendan Fraser, there's the ups and the downs, but he's winning.
That's right.
The reality is he's winning, and that's the same as Imhotep.
There's ups, there's downs, and there's Brendan Fraser's, and Imhotep has had all of them.
So Evelyn and Rick O'Connell, who's Brendan Fraser's character, Evelyn gets him out of jail. He's going to be hung by the neck. Mans is going to get hung by the neck. He might be hung like a horse, but he didn't want to be hung by the neck. And then she takes him out, and then they go find the city of Hamunaptra because Brendan Fraser and Benny had fought there before. They had a battle there many years ago.
He knew where it was, and this was the big thing. You couldn't find it. There was a specific way. You had to put the map upside down and look at it, and you go, oh, okay, so left is actually right. That was their issue.
Heads were just reading it wrong from the start.
Exactly.
Yeah. So from there, essentially, they find the mummy. Shenanigans ensue, and they have to stop the mummy.
Yeah, and of course, the white woman Evelyn shouts out the curse that releases him. Stock standard. Here, look at this. Look at this. This book that looks like it would raise the dead. Let me just read like the first page verbatim out loud. Oh, look, it's raised the dead, and we're here. There's going to be a white person who does this. Not specifically a white female. I'm just it's always some.
Oh,
I mean, we're white, but I would not be doing that.
But that's because we have ethnicity, which, like, within our ethnical backgrounds, like, heads are talking about demonic stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
There's lots of talks about ghosts and boogeymans and whatnot in our culture.
Yeah, I mean, my dad tried to win an argument by saying, like, oh, maybe people just give you the evil eye.
Yeah, like, man's is sick and he's like, someone gave me the evil eye. It's like, no, you got COVID, man. You gotta go get tested, my brother.
Yeah.
Like, I lost my taste in my smell. Someone must have given me the evil eye when I was at the shops. It's like, bro, your mask was below your nose. You were sniffing in the Covidicus. No one gave you the evil eye.
Yeah, I mean, and saying that, there's members of my family that they'll see a black cat, they got to spit over their shoulder like 7 times.
Well, your mum doesn't even like cats, period.
No, I know, but that's just superstition, and superstition will cause you to see a book like Evelyn has dug up and just like throw it right back into the garbage because that thing ain't recyclable.
No, absolutely not. And this is the exact issue with not only like this movie, which is an action adventure, but every single horror movie that you watch that is supernatural of any nature. There's going to be, and like it's 2022, so maybe they're going to get some people of color reading these things, in the next couple of movies that come out. People
of color see the script and they go, nah.
This is unrealistic. I'm not doing this. Well, that's like, but the thing is, then we're not going to stay on this too long. But then the thing is, there's friend of the show Ollie, who's also been on this show before. He's out here just doing Ouija boards.
Yeah, see, that's wild.
Is that just wild for you?
That's wild.
That's a one-step shop to getting more than just a 19 in your body.
That's right. That's right. I was thinking 19. How many? What happened to the last 18? What's going on here?
Anyway, Vincent, let's get into the hits. We gave them a bit of synopsis. We told them, what to avoid in regards to devil encounters and supernatural things.
Yeah, so if you see a freaky looking book, do not pick it up. Do not read anything. Just let it be.
Because that's not even cute. Like, people that, let's go, we'll have a party, we'll make out, we'll drink some beers and we'll read from this book. Don't invite me to that. And not that I'm in a relationship.
Well, you don't want to make out with a cute boy reading a book? Is that not?
I didn't even say I didn't want to do that part of it, but like the reading of the book. I do strictly comic books at this point.
Yeah, that's
I'm not on hieroglyphics.
And pictures and words.
I need pictures and text. But sorry, Vincent. Yeah, get into it.
So one of my favourite bits was there's Brendan Fraser and there's Benny, who were the two guys that got out of this Hamunaptra. What's the place called? I've got it.
Hamunaptra, yeah.
Hamunaptra. There was some battle in there ages ago, and Benny left Brendan Fraser for dead, so they don't like each other. And they're on this boat. Brendan Fraser and Evelyn and her brother and these other heads are one kind of hunting party for this Hamunaptra, and Benny's been brought by these American guys to find it. And essentially the boat that they're on goes up in flames because the guardians of Hamunaptra, just like they were drinking beers and then had flames, and they're just throwing Molotovs at the end of the day. And they all scramble, and they had horses and everything, and they finally got ashore to the river. And Benny's there shouting, he's like, hey, what's his name?
He goes, "Hey, O'Connell.
Hey, O'Connell, that's
Looks
right.
like we've got all the horses." And then Rick O'Connell's like, "Hey, Benny, looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river." And then Benny's just like, he looks around, he's like, damn. Starts kicking the water. Because that is hilarious, because one, Mans probably couldn't swim very well.
No.
Like, not just Benny, but everyone else in the party probably couldn't swim very well.
You're just out there trying to save your to save your life, essentially. You're not worried about what side of the river, how many horses we got.
You just wanted to get wherever you could. But also, I assume they're going to be like alligators, maybe even crocodilians. How are you going to bring a full-grown horse across that river safely?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You just don't.
I mean, horses can swim, I'm assuming, because they got big old muscles, but still, that's pretty unsafe for a horse just to be going in like alligator-infested waters.
Yeah, because they'll end up the other side and they won't have any legs.
That's true. But speaking of that scene as well, one of my hits, and I want to go back a little bit before that, but on the boat, when Benny and O'Connell first encounter each other, and they're having a bit of an argument, a dispute. O'Connell's saying, "Why did you leave me for dead?" And then to end off the conversation, he grabs Benny and just throws him off the boat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. It just launches him.
Which I think is great. Which one is like, that's slapstick. Like I'm laughing about that, which is great. But two, that is exactly how you would feel as the character of O'Connell, because this man left you for dead.
That's right.
So you're like, why am I even what's the word? Why am I even humouring this man by talking to him?
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw him off of this boat. But also it just shows that Rick O'Connell is not, he's not the typical hero in a movie.
No, he'll throw a fool off the boat if he needs to be thrown off the boat.
Like, he'll kill a man, and he's fine with that.
Yeah, actually,
he's killed people, and he's fine with that. Yeah, and he kills people that aren't necessarily bad people either. The Magi, who are the guardians, who they're the protectors of Hamunaptra.
Yeah.
These are people that are good because they're trying to stop white people from starting the curse.
Yeah.
And O'Connell is killing them. O'Connell was going to blow one man up with dynamite.
Like they are the ancestors of the Pharaoh's guard, or the priests. Right. Was it the Pharaoh's guard or the priests?
I believe it was the Pharaoh's guard. The priests guarded those bold dudes who just look like they're out of shape.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, like these Pharaoh's guards, like there's only so many of them.
That's right. Yeah.
Because their bloodline getting thinner and thinner.
Mm-hmm. Well, because mans are living off the land. They're not out there like in the community.
No, that's right. So
they have to.
Brendan Fraser's just picking them off. He's just like, that's it. There's going to be like 3 left.
Yeah, dude. And the lead of the Magi is a character that is he plays the original Gigolo in the cult classic, and probably not that good of a movie anymore. Juice Bigelow.
Yeah.
But I've got another hit for you, Vincent. When Evelyn and Jonathan is he's really the comedic part of the comedic the relief of this movie.
Yeah.
But when they find O'Connell in jail and he's about to be hung, and Evelyn's bidding to get O'Connell off the noose so she can go to Hamunaptra with him.
Yeah.
And the hangman asks O'Connell if he has any last requests. And O'Connell straight up just says to him, "Yeah, loosen the knot and let me go." And the dude like looks up to his boss and he's like should we be doing like I just asked him last request and he's told me, so like, he's answered. Like, what am I going to do here? That's too funny.
Dude, because he's looking, he's not the one to approve requests like that. He's just the employee. He's got to go to his line manager.
Yeah. He was thinking more like, yeah, maybe I want to just my mouth is dry. I just want a little bit of water before I get on this thing. Or maybe he just wanted a cool line for Brendan Fraser's, when he goes into the underworld, he just thinks about, man, that guy had a cool line before he just left me hanging. Now, apparently, I haven't got the facts with me here, but from what I've read, they accidentally made a mistake during that hanging. And Brendan Fraser's neck got severely damaged.
Oh, really?
And he had like a lifelong chronic pain due to this neck injury, which is wild.
Let me see if we've got anything here.
And that was part of this, this downfall in as people say, Brendan Fraser had a downfall in his physique and whatnot. It was because man is dealing with chronic pain. Yeah.
No, that's no good. I'm gonna have a look, see what happened to this man's.
How are you gonna how are you gonna be on a multi-million-dollar movie and they haven't got another way of hanging a man? It's like, look, we'll put the noose around your neck and like you've been doing like neck exercises, so I'm sure you'll be fine.
He had a vocal cord surgery, it says, but I don't know if that's
because he just sang it. He sang it.
Yeah, no, I can't see any. I mean, I'm looking at the production, I'm looking at the filming, I'm looking at the special effects.
Let me say, Brendan Fraser noose. Brendan Fraser noose.
Yeah, have a look.
I'm just going to cut straight to the point. Brendan Fraser noose. Brendan Fraser got fully choked out shooting the Mummy. Man's got choked out. Man's is in the MMA right now. Habib is on his neck.
He's a certified MMA contestant now. Like Brendan Fraser v. The Noose. UFC 263.
So, hold up a second. All right, so here we go. So I did get fully choked out. It was scary. This is what Fraser told EW. I'm talking about Entertainment Weekly. So they're doing this on the weekly, so they got the facts. There was a hangman's gallows and there was a hemp rope tied into the noose that was placed around my neck. The first take, I'm doing my best choking acting, and then they say, "Can we get another?" And they go, one more take. Because the noose around your neck's going to choke in your arteries. Wait, hold up a second. I'm just reading shit that's not even relevant. Anyway, man's got choked out. He's like, I regained consciousness. That's the moral of the story. And one of the EMTs was saying my name. There was gravel in my ear, and the stuff really hurt. Some stunt coordinator said, "Hi, welcome to the club, bro. Ha ha ha." And I was like, "Ha ha ha, funny? Ha ha ha. Like, what the hell? I want to go home, Stephen."
Oh my God. Shut up, Stephen. I want to go home.
Oh man,
that's hilarious.
And then they just said like, "Hey, we're still going to be doing things for the rest of the day."
That's wild. I mean,
but that's Stephen for you.
That's Stephen for you. Stephen.
And that's
Summers. That to you.
That's Summers, not Spielberg. But Vincent, let's get back into the hits. I'm sorry. This is a very enjoyable movie for me. So I'll tangent too much, and that's old school.
No, that's okay. I mean, you give me some more hits then that you found, because I mean I really like the special effects were actually pretty good, and I like all the different when they awaken Imhotep. I liked when all the different things were happening, like the beetles in the skin. That was wild.
Yeah, that's scary, huh?
Who was it? Was it what's his name? Just like stabs it through his skin.
So later on in the movie, Jonathan gets it, and it goes up into like his trapezius areas.
Yeah.
And Brendan Fraser just stabs it out of it.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's fine after that. But back to the thing. I think that this movie, and like this is Universal, so this is a big studio, but also it was of the 90s where they had the opportunity to go special effects
because they had the budget for that.
They did, but also what I'm saying is they had the ability to go special effects entirely. I'm saying computer generated effects.
Yeah.
But they chose to do a really good mixture. There is obviously the parts where Imhotep is a full grown walking mummy walking around, and that is what I'm assuming is fully CGI. But then there's later when half of his body is mummified and the other half isn't, and they had the actor there actually doing the acting, and they had little green dots and whatnot on him. But the use of practical effects, like I know I'm jumping around, but at the end of the movie where everything's collapsing, and you see things, and I'm sure they were miniatures, but you see these miniatures falling and the smoke like blowing up. There's actually a real good VFX artist react on this.
Okay.
I don't know if you or the fans have ever seen VFX artists react, but they do it on the Mummy, and that might be worth putting in the show notes.
Okay, let me write that down.
But this is a really good representation of, if you can do great special effects, use them if you have the budget to do it. But you don't need your movie to rely on it. They use they use amazing sets. They use practical effects in the fact that when we see what's Imhotep's wife's name?
Anck-Usunamun,
yeah. When we see her as a mummy at the end, it's just a lady with like toilet rolls on her, right? And she's just chasing Evelyn around. That's scary because it looks like what you would assume a mummy would look like.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you saw someone with toilet rolls all around them like a mummy coming to you, at this day and age, you'd be like, stop right there. I'm taking those toilet rolls. Because I went to Coles and they didn't have any.
I mean, it's a shortage again, man.
That still baffles me.
Well, here's the thing. The product is still there, but they ain't bringing it all out. And here's the second thing. Like, there's always going to be toilet paper. But here's the second thing. Even if you're in isolation for 2 weeks, you do 14 doo-doos in that time. How many rolls of toilet paper you really use?
That's exactly right.
If you're that mad, like get a bidet. You know what I mean? Like, if you're worried about it,
people just buy in bulk when they don't need to. Anyway, what was I going to say? I was going to say something about
you're going to say something, but can I quickly say, other than the special effects, the one great thing about this movie is this is a movie in which the characters are all fully fleshed out, and you can tell that there's been effort even in the ones that are just side characters.
Yeah, like, even I don't know what the dude's name. The dude that he gets he's trying to find all the little scarab jewels, and he gets eaten by the
he gets the canopic jars or whatever they're called. Are you talking about Dr. Allen?
I don't know. Dr. Allen?
Is he the man that's helping out the Americans?
Nah, not Dr. Allen. Not Dr. Allen. No, the what's the man's name, man? What's the man's name?
Well, we're talking Dr. Terrence, the man's that's like he's helping out the Magi.
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't know what the dude's name was. I'm looking through the.
Do you explain this man
Warden
to me?
Gad Hassan.
As Warden Gad Hassan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, the guy that is with Brendan Fraser, the warden from the prison.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets his brain chewed out.
That's right. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. But even him as a character, when
that's what I'm saying.
there,
like, even him, he's got that backstory, and you can see he's the greedy, and then he gets to that, and then it's like a seamless transition.
And that's exactly right. Greed kills all. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that quote from Rush Hour 2 is. Greed consumes us all. And that's a top tier movie. That's top 5 Dead or Alive Rush Hour movies, number 2. But as well as him, I think that the American characters are great.
Yeah.
And they're so good that I'd even like it if they had like a spin-off where it was like the Americans just going on treasure hunts.
Well, I liked how they all had their time because they were all getting targeted. I thought that was really cool. Because they all had one of the jars, yeah? Is that what happened?
They had the canopic jars with Imhotep's, I think it's canopic, with Imhotep's organs in there. So Mans is trying to get his organs back, which is fair enough.
He's like, I can't breathe. Give me my lung. What else are you going to do?
Like, if you can't breathe and a man's has got your lung, like you have every right to take it back.
You got to get the lung.
And this is the thing with these sorts of movies. it's not Imhotep's fault that he's been evil. Like, he was brought back by these people.
Yeah, that's
right. He's just doing what he said he was going to do. Yeah. But the other thing that I love is that this is for, I think, for many people, their first exploration into what Egypt is and what ancient Egypt was. Well, not that this is ancient Egypt, but or where the main story takes place. And I know that a lot of this is probably not factual at all, the way that they approach things, even some of the language that they use throughout it. But man, if ancient Egyptian history isn't some of the coolest that's ever done it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love when they've got the Rosetta Stone out there. That was one of my favourite bits.
Yeah, when they go to that museum and there's all those dudes that are plagued with the. That's scary.
Yeah, that's nuts as well. When he's got the whole community there.
Can we quickly talk about the plagues, because they're all scary things.
Yeah, except for the sand, the face in the sand.
Well, that's not really a plague as much. It's just man's face in the sand.
That was hilarious though. You know.
But I'll get to that one in a second, because I actually really like that scene as well. But the face is hilarious. But I really like that scene, and not just because they die in quicksand, or one of them does. But the plagues, the locusts, I can deal with locusts.
Yeah.
Because really, there's that guy that's holding a book and he's like, "What have we done?" He's got locusts crawling all over him. They're not doing anything to you. But everyone runs away like they are. But then the plagues get crazy. So the water turns to blood. And I want to know whose blood. Like, people just like, "Jesus Christ, my blood is leaving my body," and just going into the water? Or is this like the blood of the gods?
Yeah.
Then meteorites start coming down from the heavens above. Imagine you're in ancient Egypt and that's not ancient Egypt, but you're in Egypt and you just start seeing it's hot already, and now you're on fire because a meteorite hit you.
Well, you go, well, this is just the natural progression. I was hot already.
And I can't remember what the other plagues were, but there was plagues in there, and many of them are scary.
Yeah. The one where they all turned, into like zombies. That was wild.
Yeah. Vincent, can I hit you with a couple hits, or have you got some for me? Because I want to hear some hits from you.
I'm pretty sure that's all I'm thinking. Oh no, one of the funniest things, I don't know if this is a hit or a miss, but when Evelyn is reading the other book, to put him back in his, or to destroy him or whatever, and she finally reads it, if he finishes reading it, and then just like these ghost horsemen just come off and like just take him away. Like, sorry, bruv, you're done.
The best part about that bit, after the ghost horseman take him away, he's running for his immortality, which has been taken away.
Yeah.
And he runs. Oh wait, no, that's in the second one, isn't it? There's this one bit where Imhotep runs, and it's like he's a beat too late, and he goes like, "No!" But like he's just that one step too late. I don't know if that's the second one or this one.
No, there was.
I think that might be the second one.
There was an awkward one where he's just like falling. I can't remember.
No, there's the one where I think the Scorpion King in the second one dies.
Okay, I haven't seen that one, but
and Imhotep reacts like a beat too late for it to work.
Ah, okay.
Like, man's missed his cue and ran in late.
They didn't want to do a second take that. But man's got a noose around his neck. They'll do a second take. Like, this is the most basic scene, but hey, look, you almost died, but we can jump you on there again. That's fine. I think a testament to this movie is the fact that not only did it lead to 2 other movies, so there's 2 Mummy sequels. There is the Mummy 2, which involves Imhotep again, and then there's the Mummy 3, which is Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which has Jet Li in it. Oh, that's wild.
And Jet Li's a member of the Terracotta Army, and he throws his face at Brendan Fraser. It's not a very good movie.
Oh, okay.
It loses all its charm. It also doesn't have Rachel Weisz, who's Evelyn, in it either. But as well as that, there is also a Scorpion King spin-off with
The Rock.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
which had, I think, 3 or 4 sequels in itself.
That's wild.
And this is all based on this movie that, in my opinion, is one of the best action-adventure movies of all time.
I probably wouldn't say it's one of the best of all time, but I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a really good movie. It was a lot of fun. It was a good, fun movie.
It's a movie that you can watch. It's a rewatchable movie in many ways, and the reason that it's a rewatchable movie is because you have that depth of characters. It's timeless, really. The way that they use the special effects and how they, it's not that they use them subtly, but they use them to the best of their capabilities.
Yeah,
it's timeless, but also the story of you got a man and a woman coming together. Initially, they don't like each other. They fall in love and they find treasure. Who doesn't like that? People say Indiana Jones is the best adventure movie of all time, but I think this rivals Indiana Jones in every way.
Well, I think love is the greatest adventure.
Well, love is the greatest adventure. That's true, and I think Harrison Ford falls in love, so I can't put that against it. But Brendan Fraser was not only, people might say he was that 1999's version of Indiana Jones, but I think no. I think Harrison Ford was Rick O'Connell. That's what I'm thinking. I think that Rick O'Connell is in a league of his own. And I think that I would love to have seen just future Rick O'Connell spin-offs. Even like if we did like an old Rick O'Connell now, where Brendan Fraser's like, I just got to put the gun straps on again. I got to put the white shirt on again. I got to go fight mummies. I'd be up for that.
I just gotta go boxing. I took the noose in UFC 263. We're at like UFC 358. I'm boxing mummies now.
And wouldn't that be amazing? Because Hollywood, they will do wondrous things. They'll get Brendan Fraser back to Brendan Fraser of 1999. And, that's just TRT. That's human growth hormone. That's chicken and broccoli. The actors will tell you that's chicken and broccoli, but we all know deep down that it's not. And I'm sorry, I sort of took over. I sort of just jumped into how much I love this movie.
That's all right, and that's okay.
Because I'm excited about this.
Yeah. So should we tell the listeners and viewers whether or if this is an Uncharted movie or not? What are we doing?
Yeah. No, I think. Do you think that this could play as an? Have you? Because we've talked about the Uncharted series before.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how much you've played of it.
Well, I've played everything except the first one.
Oh, that's fantastic. I thought you said Nathan, so I was thinking like you hadn't played any of the other stuff.
Oh, I thought you asked I'm playing right now or how much of
okay.
the. Oh, okay. Because I told
you
you
you don't read my text messages.
No, I don't read like some of it. You'd think, given that I don't go social media, I'd be more present, but apparently I'm not. Apparently, it doesn't help. But no, I read that as because I told you that I bought the Uncharted trilogy, the first three, on PlayStation. I thought you meant that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have played it.
I've played them. I've played them all except for the first one. And I do think that this is a pretty good Uncharted movie, apart from the fact that he wasn't, jumping from like one cliff to like a broken down bus that's off the side of an edge, of the edge, and he's like grabbing on with like his pinky finger, and then he's pulling himself up and then swinging off of it to like a train that's next to it, and just some falling rocks. Like he's climbing loose rocks as they're falling. If they had that, then it would be Uncharted.
That is true. It doesn't have that, and then it also doesn't have that scene, and then just another scene where a helicopter crashes, and then another building falls down, and you have to run through the building as it's falling.
That's right. And then when you get out of that, there's like 60 dudes just ready to shoot you, and you just take them all out.
And most of you just snapping their necks.
Yeah.
Because the combat in that game is insane. But I think that this movie falls very well into the Uncharted the Uncharted recipe, because one, it's an adventure movie in which their aim is to find treasure. It has a hero who, when many people look at him, if you just looked at him from the surface, you would think, why does anyone like this dirtbag? Like, really, Mans is a dirtbag. He doesn't really care about other people. Well, that's what you think. All he's focused on is getting that treasure. That's a bit of Rick O'Connell in there. But the other thing that it has, which I think really makes a great Uncharted film, but also an Uncharted game, is it has a supernatural twist.
Yeah, that's right. Because you think, I remember going to that first Uncharted Uncharted 2, where you go into, I can't remember where it is. It felt like the jungle of some sorts. And you're looking for like this fountain or something.
You're looking for the Chintamani stone.
Whatever it is. And then you get there and then just like people are turning to these huge, just like they're on the DMT, they're on the TRTs, they're on the chicken and broccolis.
So they're doing the chicken broccolis, they're doing the TRTs, and then they're just doing DMTs because they just want to see things.
Well, then they're turning blue.
I'm seeing things.
They're turning blue.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And I think the supernatural twist is what makes the Uncharted game so much fun, is because it works just by itself as strictly an action adventure game and a treasure hunting game.
Yeah.
But then you throw in wild creatures, and your body goes through just like are we playing the same game? Have I accidentally like clicked into something else? But two, it throws you out of a place that you thought was safe and gives you more people to worry about.
Yeah, because you're thinking, what's the worst this game can give me? I just got to shoot a few dudes. I got to jump off a few ledges. But then there's people, they're hopped up on DMT. They're like, you're shooting them and they're just like, yeah, come at me, bro. They're just doing those ones.
I do think that not only is this a great Uncharted movie, but if Uncharted came out within the 90s, Brendan Fraser would 100% be the star of the Uncharted series. And I feel that he would be a good Nathan Drake.
I think he would too. He doesn't have the same look as Nathan Drake, but does that really matter?
No.
Probably not. But although people from, people that want video game movies want the people to look exactly like the characters.
Which, should we get into the fact that shouldn't matter that much?
No, let's not get into that because
that could take too long.
That's the bottom line.
Vincent, I want you to tell these people whether or not this movie is worth the subscription to whatever you're getting it on, but this is on Stan for those in Australia.
Yeah, this was hard to find. I had to go through like 16 different streaming services. It's only on Stan, apparently.
Yeah, or at my house you can watch it on DVD,
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, this is worth it to me. I really enjoyed this.
I don't even have to say what I feel because it's in my top three. I just was quoting lines from the movie that was this podcast. We're at the 48-minute mark now, and 32 minutes of this was me just saying you're on the wrong side of the river and laughing to myself.
Oh, what a line though! Absolutely hilarious.
This is no word of a lie. I was walking through the botanical gardens a couple of weeks ago, and it was raining while we were there, so the rivers were flowing within the little like streams were flowing, and we were on one side of the thing. And I was thinking, man, if I saw a friend of the show, Jack, on the other side of this river, who loves the movie The Mummy, I would say that line to him. And I know that he would say it back to me as well.
That's the best.
Man, so Jack, I know you're on the other side of this river. Hey, it looks like you're on the wrong side of the river, right? It looks to me. Vincent, this is a 10 out of 10. But what else is a 10 out of 10 is Vincent telling you...
What?
Them. Because Vincent telling them where they can find us. Okay. I said you, and I was like, I got confused because I was like, did I mean me? And that's just
Go on. That's just what you get here. Anyway, if you want to support us on Patreon, like I said earlier in the piece, if you got it to here, like that's absolute respect. So if you've made it to here, you probably should go onto Patreon because you obviously like this content enough. It's $2 a month, and you get plenty of gear there. No DMT, but we're also on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Links will be down in the description. Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give us a rate on Apple Podcasts. We're trying to get 200 ratings on Apple Podcasts, 5-star ratings, and then we'll become like certified reviewers. And who doesn't want to see like The Mummy? You're on the wrong side of the river, 5 stars. Well, who doesn't want to see that?
We can go on Rotten Tomatoes with that, but also get those subs up on YouTube because the more subs we get and the more likes we get, apparently the algorithm likes that, so it sends those videos out there to people who might also enjoy this content. But
also send it to like your friends, like in your email signature at work. Just put like the Back Catalogue YouTube channel link at the bottom. Because what are they going to do? Click on it? That's views.
Hey. Talk soon.
Talk soon.